Another week, another video, my friends. Welcome back. It's your boy with yet another Epomaker pre-built keyboard today. Thank you Epomaker for sending one of these for review. So let's find out what's really in this board. Usually Epomaker, they have the EK, SK, EP, TH, whatever kind of two alphabet followed by a set of numbers that kind of tells what kind of layout it uses. But for today's guest, it is a bit unique as it is just called the Shadow X. This one. Looking directly from the box art, we can tell that it is kind of a FRL TKL layout, which means it is F-rollers and 10 keyless. But it isn't technically really an FRL TKL because the page up button is replaced with a knob, which I'll get into a bit later. So let's see what's in the box. So for the packaging, you get basically the keyboard itself. You should get like your usual packaging with it, the white foams and whatnot. And aside from that, you get the usual combos like your accent keys if your colorway supports that, and you also get a few extra switches, and you get the braided USB cable and this keycap and switch puller 2-in-1 thing. And you have the user manual as well because I lost mine in my house somewhere in the corner. So yeah. Starting from the look of the keyboard, and I think they went with kind of a vintage style here as the thick bezels around it resembles the good old times, you know, like the IBMs, the Cherries from the 80s and the 90s. And it is especially true in this colorway of black and gray, despite, like, you know, crusty old boards usually in the light gray, dark gray colorway. Yeah, but I digress. The same set of theme also carries into the top and bottom casing with the sort of reflective gunmetal gray paint on the top plus the simple black on the bottom. You also got the flippy feet with 3 adjustable heights, which is pretty good in my opinion, and they are fitted very tight, so none of that flimsy, easy to break off bad stuff. And I think they took a bit of inspiration from custom keyboards since the case is screwed with 8 pieces of hex screws at the bottom, and I don't think Epomaker intend for the usual casual users to open it up because they obviously didn't include a screwdriver in the package. So yeah, something to take note. Before we move on to other things, a quick mention is that it is tri-mode with 3000 mAh battery, so pretty decent capacity in this form factor. As for the keycaps, this took me quite some time to find out since Epomaker only listed them as double sharp PBT and doesn't tell us the profile. From what I can Google, this could be the SS profile, which is derived from the popular SA profile that sport a whole bunch of the things like KSA, OSA, SAL, ASA, yeah, but whatever, man. I'm just a little disappointed in terms of the switches, not because of how good or bad it is, but it's from Epomaker themselves. I thought they would send over a different kind of switches for different kinds of model, but it is still the Flamingo switches, which I reviewed some time ago in the EK68 if I'm not mistaken. So a quick refresh for you guys. Dual stage, 47 gram actuation, 60 gram bottom out, top and bottom PC housing with palm stem. So let's do a quick sound test first, shall we? Due to the higher keycap profile, this board definitely talks more than the EK68, and I felt that the plate mount stabilizers feels way more tuned as well since there's less ticking overall, but still there's more room for improvements. The tapping feel is comfy and felt little to no vibration because it runs a PC plate and is gasket mounted with mid-plate foam. This combo works especially well with some lightweight springs in my opinion. Now to the special stuff, the little TV screen on the right side. This panel is used to display all sorts of information from caps locks, whether it's on and off, whether the entire keyboard is Windows mode or Mac mode, and also the current time.
Video editor here, I just want to add on that the software, if you want to configure the TV or the mini display of the Epomaker Shadow X, is literally by just downloading their driver on their website. And this software is actually identical to the Epomaker RT100 that we have also reviewed previously, link at the top right corner there. And all of the features here are identical. You can even put your own GIF on this TV as well. I'm not sure how that looks like, but yeah, this screen is smaller than the RT100's mini display and it kind of functions more or less the same. It has the same quirks, same issues, and you still need to click the update date and time button on the software to get it actually to show the correct time and date on the screen. And yeah, functionally it's very similar to the RT100.
But on the other hand, this knob that I mentioned in the beginning isn't actually a knob, but rather a turning switch of some sort with fixed incremental clicks, you know, kind of like those fans you use in your home. And you thought this is for the volume? Joke's on you, my man. This is used to switch from wired 2.4 GHz and Bluetooth 1, 2, and 3. Now I think they went a little quirky or naughty for the Shadow X, which is fine if you want to do something different once in a while, but the execution is not that well thought out. I recommend that adding a little arrow indicator on the top, showing which mode or position it is currently in, instead of relying on the panel would be much more straightforward. This problem can be fixed easily, but there's another issue is how do you access the F keys? Well, you don't do that in the usual way, which like you hold the Fn and hit, for example, if you want F1, but instead you have to hold Fn, press the left control once to switch the layer, and then the number row becomes the entire F key until you turn it back. Epomaker decided to make it a toggle mechanism. The instruction manual did stated how the bird works though, so props to them making it clear, and maybe everyone should start reading manuals from now. But I think this really challenges the habit of the mass consumer, because I don't think any people is going to have those F keys stick around unless they have another numpad on this side, but like, why? So cheeky move, but definitely not my favorite when it comes to productivity. So as a final verdict, I can feel the effort of trying something fun from Epomaker in the Shadow X after selling standard keyboards for so long, but it's just a little bit frustrating to use at the start, but perhaps you have no problem adapting it quickly. So for the price, at $85.99, which is $86, this would be a pretty cool board for the average user at quite a value, if it wasn't being screwed by the issues that I mentioned. So if you're a adventurous person to buy and try out this toggle style F-roll, or just don't care that much and you just like the design and the keycaps and the sound, then you can check it out through the links below. And that's all for this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.